Thank you, Bob Scofield, friend since 1980s on up. KTM motocross biker, friend, illusionist, magician, born again Christian, friend since 1980s at Good News Baptist Church in Chesapeake, Virginia, 3252 Taylor Road, Chesapeake, Virginia, for always getting me something for my birthday or Jesus' birthday, Christmas time. I can't wait to get that set of coins to do the coins across and coins vanish from one hand to and reappear in the hand gradually. All right. Using a shell and other routines that everybody shows on YouTube how to do in Facebook, but you gotta have the gadget from a magic shop. And I still got this book that you got me either for my birthday or Christmas, and it says right on here, to my friend Magic Bill, Bob is Robert L. Scofield. Bob Scofield was a magician as a kid and a motocross biker, and he always made sure to go to church because he became a born-again Christian, and he got saved after watching the movie at a teen outing because his biker buddy got saved, and he put soldering tracks in everybody's motorcycle jacket pockets. And on top of that, he said, "Hey, we got a youth activity, Christ for Crusade thing." And I was telling Bob, that's what Underco Christian illusionist. He's in heaven now, but yeah, I know what that is. Yeah, and we went to see Underco. Remember at Willard Hall? Yeah, that's not too far where my sister Cheryl used to go to school. It's right next to that building. Anyway, anyway, yeah, Underco wrote "Magic of Yours," Bill Page, and Tommy. No, I forgot. He said best wishes for success. That's what he said. For Tommy, he said magic is yours, Underco, and for me, he said best wishes for success. Because I said I like your passing through illusion, where you walk through a girl like an astronaut outer space idea, with lights and stuff in a round circle. And he wrote magically. No, he said I can't even say it right. Best wishes for success. And Tommy said, I liked your Statue of Liberty vanishing slowly on up. And he says, magically yours, Andre Cole. And I did the coin sleight of hand. And I said, I got one of your Genie magazine. He said, which one and what volume? And I go, I don't know. Bob said, Bill, why didn't you bring it? Well, I didn't know we would be able to have time to do this. Yeah, I didn't think, yeah. And all I know is it's brown, and it has you doing the flaming cane thing, where the flame rope changes into a cane. So anyway, I said, yeah, I noticed you were doing the sword and pill like Copperfield. Oh, I gave that to Copperfield while he was in China. Oh, okay. Underco calls his version the Opera Tower, where he lets a lady fall through. But Copperfield is the only one that went through the sword. At the time, it was only him that fell through the sword. But years later, the America's Got Talent and British Got Talent, anyway, a magician on one of those talent shows on YouTube did the sword impaled, and he fell through it himself. And I read the comments, and I can tell that nobody's never heard of Copperfield, because they say, wow, that's the first time I ever seen the magician fall through the sword. Usually it's the lady. And then I said, no offense, but Copperfield did it first. It's Andre Cole's invention called sword impelled. And there's been many versions of it, but it goes back to Andre Cole's. And one shaped like a Dr. Strange needle idea, and I forgot what other versions, but it all stems from the sword impelled. Even Mission Impossible showed how to do the sword impelled, but used a microphone idea through the back. And Justin Plum showed a spring-loaded version, which in my levitation book it talks about, but the thing is, that's a drawing, but I'm glad he did a video so that I can see what it is. It's like the crystal smoke chamber. I had my ideas, but when I saw it, he was a godsend. I was like, you answered the question. I didn't know it folded inward like that, the trapdoor. I was thinking it just pops up and down or spandex, but I didn't know it's like a three-fold trap. Okay, I didn't know about that. Now I can. It makes sense in my brain how that extra glass on top, and then all the other glass all around in a rectangle, that they can magically appear. Oh, because I got it in books and stuff, the Masters of Illusion or something like that, where it has all the magicians from the past to the present: George Gobel, Paul Daniels, David Copperfield, Blackstone Jr., Doug Henning. Well, you get the idea. I think it has the Pendragons in it too, I think. Charlotte Johnson Pendragon, if I ain't mistaken. But yeah, they do a version of Sword and Pell too. And so do Siegfried and Roy. They're part of the Bar and Bailey Circus Connection, MGM Theater and Circus. They used to, circus. Even our church used to go to the Bar and Bailey Circus at the Scope, I think, at the Scope, and there's the Hampton Coliseum too there. But I said, wow, Scope, it's right next to Chrysler Hall, and that's where we'd watch Copperfield every year at Chrysler Hall in Norfolk, Virginia. Bob Scofield took me to see my first Copperfield show, and then the next time his wife Judy tagged along, Judy Scofield, and then that was like in the 80s, and now, in the magic of the 90s, Tommy Story got to see Copperfield at Chrysler Hall in Norfolk, Virginia, and his nephew Andy Story and his special nephew Bobby Story. Andy Story and Bobby Story. And Thomas Story never got to see Copperfield live, because by the time he was born, Copperfield didn't go on tour anymore. And now Thomas is a teenager, almost adult, and he's got a kid of his own, and a girlfriend, and I can't think right now. And it's uncanny that Thomas looks just like his brother Andy Story in the face. It's like my nephew Eugene looks just like his dad Raymond Smith Jr. And Eugene is Raymond Eugene Smith III. And then Eugene's older son, Raymond Eugene Smith IV. And his youngest son is Alex Smith, named after the TV show on the Family Ties Michael J. Fox character, Alex. Okay, got it. But I made sure Thomas learned everything about Copperfield. I gave him 6 hours worth of DVD of Copperfield, the Pendragons, the Masked Magician, everything in a nutshell. From illusion shows to Melinda the First Lady of Magic to, you name it. But I remember when Bob Scofield took me to see my first Copperfield show. First I seen Copperfield would be advertising for Busch Gardens, Williamsburg, Virginia. I never did get to see a show there, but eventually I got to go to Busch Gardens and stuff, and I talked to other magicians, Penn Russell, the Great Scott, and they let me know that where all the trapdoors were in different locations where he'd appear in a puff of smoke and stuff, and point A to point B. And he left all the trapdoors and tunnels all in there so they could have fun themselves. Anyway, because the place was called Wizard Works or something like that. Now it's called Pot of Gold because of the Irish theme now in Hastings. The whole thing might have changed now. We ain't been in there since the prices went up, and then later on COVID. We haven't been to any amusement place. No King's Dominion, no Busch Gardens, you name it. The only thing we've been to is the movie theaters in Cinemark. And once they close that, we'll just be a stay-at-home people. Except for going to church, which that's more important than anything else. Good News Baptist Church, where everybody is somebody, and we plan to expand the church because our church is growing leaps and bounds. And we plan to have more church buses than in the 70s and 80s. We're going to pick up all the kids. This is what I was told in Good News. We're going to pick up all the kids, get them fed, to hear the Word of God, and then the parents will start coming, and the church will even grow and grow and grow and grow. And we'll have all the bus drivers that go around the neighborhood knocking on doors. It's like bringing back the 1980s all over again. Same bad time, same bad channel. Anyway, I was praying to Jesus that somehow I get to see Copperfield at Chrysler Hall. And my mom said, Bill, we ain't got the money for that. And my dad said, yeah, we can't afford that. And I know, if I could afford it, we would go. Bill, the phone's ringing. Yeah, yeah, Bob. Hey, Bill, guess what? Guess what I got in my hand right now? What? David Copperfield tickets. You want to go? Where at? Chrysler Hall in Norfolk, Virginia? Oh, cool. I was just praying to Jesus. Oh, hold on. Bob said that he's got tickets for him and me to see Copperfield at Chrysler Hall. Can I go? Well, yeah, if you go, you take your bath. Yeah, Bob and God, just got to take my bath. Okay, don't worry. By the time you get your bath done, I'll be ready. I should be swinging around and pick you up. Okay. So, I got ready and everything, and then I waited for Bob, and Bob pulled up in the front yard, and he said, look, Bill, my hands are empty. And then, just like producing 2 cards out of nowhere, he produced 2 tickets for Copperfield at Chrysler Hall. Here's one for you, and here's one for me, Bill. Thanks, Bob. I was praying to Jesus that somehow I'd get to go, and you're the key for it to go. So, well, I'm glad I'm the key card. And then when we went there, Bob, we got the balcony, and Bob said, let me see here's the binoculars you got, Bill. Here, you see that T right there? That stands for trap doors. Oh, I get it. And see that the tape that's kind of glowing, so that the assistants and crew can go and pick people in the audience. How do you know all this stuff, Bill? I got tons of books and Genie magazines. Don't worry, I'll teach you all that. And then one of the crew guys said, hey, we got extra seats up here. Some people canceled out. Bob said, hey, make it 2. So we got front row seats, and that was even an extra fourfold that God made it work out. God has it all planned out. And we're what all of a sudden the Don Slater and the other lady on news people on Channel 10, ladies and gentlemen, the magic of David Copperfield. And then they go off to the stage left and right, and all of a sudden the red curtain is still there, but you see steam of smoke come out. And Corey Hart, I Wear My Sunglasses is playing. Dun 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 dun. Curtain opens up, and the lady crew people, probably Joni Spinia too, because she was there for the Lady Without a Medal idea. And then they showed all sides of it empty, the crystal smoke chamber. It's and all of a sudden, the song gets louder, and all of a sudden smoke pours in there, and out pops Copperfield wearing a white tuxedo with a red rose, and he says, "Hi, I just came from L.A. I brought the air with me." Then the next time we went with Judy Scofield, same crystal smoke chamber, same song, some added new stuff too, but he was wearing a Fonzie leather jacket with dark sunshades like he did for his white tuxedo, and he still said the same line, "Hi, I just came from L.A. I brought the air with me." A lot of people don't know, and I let people know that, even though they got the DVD of Copperfield music that people collected of all of his shows and they put it in one DVD, I let them know that there's one song that's not in the mix, because I was there at Chrysler Hall, and he always made his appearance in that crystal double wall. That it's the very same one and the same routine that he used for the Great Wall of China, but instead of that, they used a China song, but it's the Indiana Jones, the Temple of Doom song. It sounds like Chinese in a way, so they used that instead of Corey Hart, I Wear My Sunglasses at night. If they would have used the Corey Hart one, then everybody would know that that's the song they used at Chrysler Hall in the 1980s. But thanks to Jesus to making it all work out, I can add what I know that they don't know. Like, for example, his shadow box with Pet Shop Boys, One More Chance. It's good that he used that for the explosive encounter imploding building in Charlotte Hotel, because that's the same one he used. But by the time my nephew Eugene went with me and Tommy did the driving, he used the shadow box, but he used the Magic Carpet Ride by Steppenwolf. And by the time the Mayor's Got Talent, it's just a musical only, no words. It's a nice song too, if you can find that on YouTube. But he made his appearance the same way. But anyway, I like after the show that Eugene's like, "Bill, how did he do the motorcycle? How did he do the duck bucket?" And we're heading, before you hit that walk, don't walk thing, and walk into Tommy's car. It was either the silver SUV or the blue Tempo. I don't know which one Tommy had at the time. And on the way there to see Copperfield, Tommy was playing a cassette or a CD of Copperfield songs. Perfect idea to get in the mode for Copperfield. Anyway, Eugene was wondering all this as we're across the street. I said, "Put it this way, Eugene, if you got into my mind, you would know every secret of all I know, from stage illusions to close-up. And no, Bill, if I got in your head, I'd get lost." Very funny, Eugene, very funny. So I made him a 6 hours worth of VCR videotape, and later on a DVD of it. And then I made my nephew, my younger nephew, I can't think right, William Marcel Page. Now he's magic inclined, and he got to see the Mickey Magic Show at Chrysler Hall, but he didn't get to see the Copperfield one. And my niece Bobby and my youngest niece Bobby and my older niece Tony say, "Hey, what about us?" Well, it was guys' night out. It wasn't girls' night out. So Miss Story made up for it and made See, have Andy, Story, and Tony come with us for the Spider-Man and then Fat Albert thing. And Bobby, she got picked food. So Miss Story stopped and got her some food that she wanted. So everything worked out. Everything came out even, Steven.